Why Meet the Others podcast? What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
We
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives
Word
me
up.
comfort. So
I hear you.
yeah. So anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, so they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, 'cause we got along.
Hey,
Yo,
what's poppin', everybody?
welcome to Meet the Others podcast. I'm Anissa B.
And I am Choirboy Dank.
And this is a podcast of entrepreneurs, lovers, parents, creators. You name it, we do it. We talk about it. It gets real sometimes in the field.
Real in the field.
In the field or no?
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I thought I was like rapping or something, like real in the field. What you know about? I don't know the deal.
What you know about?
Rolling down in the deep end, but you can't say that, right? Is that two different songs that I
I
just...
just feel like there was like 10 different songs. I thought he was gonna do "Rolling with the Homies."
Rolling with the homies. That's Brittany Murphy. Ah,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. She was definitely the cool girl, even though I feel like she was
Not
kind
in
of
that. Not in that one.
not in that, but I think she was
She grew into being a cool girl. She changed.
very true. Clueless, if you know, if you of course that was way before my time, but like I watched it like yesterday.
If you're not up on the classic,
Clueless. Hey,
go check it out. It's a banger.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, "Rolling with the Homies."
Rolling with the homies.
I don't know. The funny thing is, was that ever a actual song? Guys,
That seems like a song.
if you know that song that they're referencing, throw that in the comments just so that I can have a little bit of education, because I feel like I never really placed that song.
That's a song. It's
Is-
maybe an East Coast song. That's probably why you
Tupac?
don't know.
Tupac?
Rolling with the homies.
I don't think it's the East Coast song.
Listen, we got it all.
Clueless was definitely not an East Coast.
Listen, whatever. It was not. It was like California, right?
It had to be.
Yeah. Whatever. Same thing.
California, East Coast, Hong Kong. Same shit. So what are you drinking on over there?
I am drinking Bustelo.
Bustelo.
This shit is like, let me just tell you something, a little fun fact, fun little memory down memory lane. My grandma, right? She always made Bustelo in her pot, like her little coffee pot. It was like this small little coffee pot with water boiling in it. The coffee, no coffee maker. That shit is whack. With like a stocking. Like it was like a stocking, but not a stocking, like nothing that anyone put their
Pantyhose.
feet in. But it was like a cloth with a wooden stick, and once the water boiled, she poured the coffee into this thing that was in her mug, and she kind of it was like a filter.
She doesn't know what happened.
I do know what
There's a
happened.
wooden spoon, pantyhose,
You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about,
a hairnet.
comment down below. I can't remember what it was called. But anyways, yeah, so Bustelo, if you're Puerto Rican, you know exactly what this coffee means to us. It's way better than Starbucks.
Or if you spent some time in New York, this kind of really what they have in all the
Corner stores,
bodegas.
yeah, for sure. Bodegas or Muhammad's. That's what we used to call it, Muhammad's.
Really?
Yeah, every corner store was like our friends who we went to school with. They were like Muslim, and a lot of their names were Muhammad. Yeah.
Little fun fact.
Fun fact
We're just
again.
dropping fun facts.
Bam, boom, boom, hitting you with them golden nuggets, like Kevin,
Golden nuggets.
like Kevin Hart would say,
Dropping them golden nuggets.
like shit in your mouth. Boom, bam. How you feel?
Well, I don't know if I want to get hit with the golden nugget in the mouth.
No.
I don't
How
know.
about in the eye? You got glasses on. It won't hit your eyes. I promise. Stay still. No, I'm just joking.
Whoa, this one still
Whoa.
got her feeling it.
He way too many scoops of
You know,
coffee
that's
in
how you
here.
gotta do it. You know,
I feel
when
on
you're
edge.
when you're making it, you gotta make it.
You got to make it.
So
Yes.
if you notice, if you watched the last if you last watched the last podcast, we rock in the same studio. We haven't changed it up yet.
Nope. No change in the studio.
No,
change in the studio.
we waiting for these comments. Let us know what we need to be doing.
What should we do, guys? We need your help.
No, we're embracing the status quo right now.
Yes. Something about me makes me hungry to change even more.
I like it.
Yes, I'm hungry right now. Like mouth is watering. I'm hungry.
So what are we talking about? We talking about change today?
We're talking about change, baby.
That's the word of the day. Like if he was on Pee Wee Herman, rest in peace.
Ah, come on.
Rest in peace to the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Of early morning crazy whatever show.
I wasn't a Pee Wee Herman fan though. I was kind of scared of the chair that spoke. Really? You remember? Like that chair kind of scared me a little bit.
It's funny because I seen so many different little things that he did after he died that I wasn't aware was him.
Well, yeah, that's what always happens. It's like the person, you like this famous person that kind of fades out because like they're not A-list celebrities anymore. Then they die, and then all of a sudden it's like, rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman. Rest in peace to this
Paul
person,
Rubin.
and boom.
Paul Rubin. That's his name.
Pee Wee Herman. I call him.
You're like, why are you saying?
I don't know who that guy.
Whose name is that?
Is that another guy who died? I was like,
is that one of your friends?
What friends?
For real.
No new friends.
Yeah, no, he played the devil on Nightmare Before Christmas.
I know. I couldn't believe that.
I was like, what?
But you know what's so crazy is he kind of, the devil, the little boy?
Yes.
He looked like him.
I didn't.
His mask.
Really think so?
Yes.
I got a little one of those dolls in my closet.
Yes.
The little crazy doll.
Our
little daughter loves that thing.
She used to call it her boyfriend. And at one point, she was the same height as the doll because they were like pretty, like it were tall dolls.
It's a big one.
And she would be like, "This is my boyfriend." And I'm like, chill. What's wrong with you? Weirdo alert. Oh, yeah. Let's also like shout out Angus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Angus Cloud.
Yep.
That it? From Euphoria, man. Super sad news of him passing as well. He worked in Brooklyn, right? As a waiter. And he recently passed away the same day, right? Kind of overpowered.
I think, yeah, later on in that day, the news kind of came out about him. And yeah, those, it's crazy. It's crazy how that stuff goes down.
Yeah.
I feel for him and what he was going through.
Yeah. Mental health is important. And if you don't have your mental health or your physical health, a lot of times, what happens. And when you don't have self-control and you're willing to like make change in your life, unfortunately, sometimes your life will hit you right in the face. And next thing you know, you're gone.
Yeah.
And depression will overpower that too.
Well, depression will tell you that everything that you have is worth nothing.
Exactly.
When you focus on the bad and the negative and the hard things that's going on. That's why I think it's very important to really kind of like keep track of all the good things you got going on.
Yeah.
Take account of all that stuff because I think that stuff could take you out the game.
Yes, for sure.
It's taken countless, people at the game. I mean, yeah. Speaking of Brittany Murphy, I mean, it's crazy.
Another one, yeah.
So.
Yep. Addiction is a powerful thing, and if that's all you see as a way to suppress, how you're feeling is by, taking another hit, drinking another glass of alcohol, doing all those things, and that's all the only thing you see in front of your face, and that's all you feel like that's going to get you to feeling somewhat normal, and you're not willing to change a little bit of like your habits.
Yeah.
You can easily
Well, it's like the thing about that type of stuff is you're stacking kind of, unhealthy things on top of each other. And, it's easy to kind of use those things as a veil to not see the thing that you want to focus on. And it helps for a little while, but, it's not a permanent fix. And those things will create other negative things. It's like, it's like when you take a pill that is going to fix something in your body or whatever, but then it has 20 other side effects.
You're like shitting your brains out, your ears are bleeding,
stomach bleeding, and like
there's cotton candy coming out of your nose. You're like, what?
Damn, I was just trying to fix my headache. Shit.
What?
So yeah, you gotta, yeah. It's not easy though.
No. I think that a lot of times we are like very fearful for change as humans in this world. We're scared to change because it is way more comfortable to be exactly the same and do the same routines and continue on the same way because you're comfortable. And
Yep.
you're not like put in a position to feel a little uncomfortable and challenge yourself by saying, today I'm going to change the way I think. I'm going to change the way I move. I'm going to change some of that.
Yeah, I read this thing that I thought was really kind of powerful about change, which is change is inevitable, right?
Right.
Like the only thing that's constant is change. The thing that we have the ability to do though is we have the ability to initiate the change.
Right.
Or we have the ability to let the change happen to us.
Yeah.
And I think that when you initiate the change and when you activate and actively take on those hardships and do the hard work, you take control of that change. When you just let the forces be what they will, those changes, like you don't have control over it. So it's something that you gotta take the reins of sometimes.
Yeah. And we started dating like almost 12 years ago, 11 years ago, something like that, right?
Something like that.
And I feel like we both have changed so much, like within that amount of time. Like we've both seen ourselves in so many different phases, stages in our lives, and so much change happened within it. Because I remember one time you telling me, like, we were having a really deep conversation and you were telling me, like, I had to also feel like, I was telling you how I was having like these new, like my body changing.
Yeah.
And how my mind was being like, it was weird. Like my mind wasn't like correct. Like things were like, number one, you met me when I had my gastric bypass.
Yeah.
Like not like 5 days after my gastric bypass. And then fast forward, I had my skin removed and everything. And you told me something like, I also had to get used to this change in you because you're not the same person that you were the time I met you and we started dating. And that's also like, it was probably very shocking and uncomfortable.
Well, I think that it's crazy because, as you do change, as your body transforms, you do things to initiate change in your physical health and, whatever. It's very easy for you yourself not to feel connected to your own body.
Yes.
For you to not feel like normal. So then to expect everybody in your life to also feel like everything's normal is crazy, right?
Right.
Because if you can't see yourself, like people, and I think it's very easy for people to look at you and go, well, this is how I know this person. Or
right.
This is how I'm comfortable with this person in my life.
Yes.
And things change.
Yeah.
And if you don't change, the way that you, interact or whatever, if you look at this person in the same way, that relationship will probably change.
Yes, for sure.
So, you just gotta roll with the punches, man.
Yeah. Yes. Because I think about, like, when I think about change for myself, I'm always like, oh my God, there was one point where like I had such a weak mentality. And today, fast forward, before I even met you, like I was so insecure. I had so many issues like with confidence, and like I was constantly like fighting that situation. But as I changed and made myself a better version of myself, I started to gain confidence because of change and because I was willing to take those steps. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to be so scared about what's happening to me. I'm going to keep going, like,
Yeah.
so like, I think that like, if you think about yourself, even like from where you were way before you met me to like where you are today, there's like such a different, you've grown so much because you've allowed yourself to change without, like if there's a roadblock, you're like, excuse me, and you move out of it and you're like, well, I got this, like.
Yeah. Well, it's also easy to look at change as some the same way that you look at other people like, oh, I know this person and I know who they are.
Yeah.
It's easy to look at yourself like that.
Yes.
And say, well, this is who I am.
Right.
And I think that sometimes that's dangerous.
Yes.
Because who you are, if, I mean, there's something that I like. It's nice to be able to say, I'm never going to change. I'm going to be a consistent But there's danger in that because you want to be you want to keep growing.
Yes.
And if you look at yourself as this certain type of way and you react to this thing and this type of stimuli, always like this, you'll never be able to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like I've learned a lot, especially from you, like how to like react.
Yeah.
I changed the way I reacted to a lot of things because a lot of times, like even my family will tell you like, oh my God, thank you for coming into her life. Like she was such a bitch.
She was snapping
like,
at me.
She would snap for everything because I was just like a firecracker. Like Joe Pesci, that was me as a female. So like,
do I look like a clown to you?
Do I look like a clown to you? Like I was angry all the time. And I still, I'm still working on that. That's a like work in progress that probably always will be because I have like my temper goes from about 0 to a million real quick. But I've learned to change some of the way that I react to certain things and certain people and what makes better sense for me to not overreact. So that way I'm not like in a bad mood the whole time because that's all it was. It's like, it was just like a trickle effect of, responding to something negative that like made me feel some type of way. And then it just like all day long just lingered.
Well, yeah. Not only that, you're like planting those negative seeds in people that are around you that, you react to and all of that. And, sometimes you just got to go, okay, not that your negative reaction to me is not a reflection of me.
Yes.
It's a reflection of where you're at. And cool, you can have that.
You can have it.
I'm gonna move on and keep it moving.
I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's so funny you talk about that the way people see you. Like I was on FaceTime with my grandmother, Grammy, and like she watched me grow up and like I've always been heavy.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, funny enough, like this is so weird, but like my family, like when I look back at pictures, I'm like, yo, you guys should have told me that I was like really big. Like, why'd you let me eat that food? Like, come on, guys. You should have been a little more meaner, like,
yeah.
But like they never really mentioned my weight as an issue in my life, which I appreciate. And I love them for that because I never really fully saw myself as a fat girl besides for, the outside world, which when I was a kid, it mattered. And so I got older and I didn't give a shit. But I spoke with her last weekend and I was in a bikini, which is something that I
would not have done,
would never wear. And I was speaking to her and she goes, wow. She goes, you have changed so much. Like, and I'm happy that I'm able to see the change because you just look different. You look different and you look like you have changed and it's good. It's a good change. It's good. Like,
yeah.
And that was just like, I was like, hey, yay. Like, I felt so like happy about that. She was like, I always wanted to be alive to see you like this. This change is good.
That's dope.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. And like, yeah. So
no, that's dope.
And honestly, like that also like just my mindset is also changing every day. So I'm learning a lot more of what I'm going to tolerate and what I need in my life and who I need in my life and who I'm going to tolerate and what I don't need.
Yeah.
And it's important. It's important to recognize how you're going to take change, by the balls and make it yours and figure it out without being afraid to change.
Yeah, I think that it's dope to be able to take a little bit of inventory of your surroundings, the same way that you if you're doing a fitness thing or you're doing some sort of health conscious diet change,
Yes.
You're looking at the things that you're eating and you're putting in your mouth, and you take out the poison.
Yes.
You take out the bad.
Yep.
And it's the same way with media that you're consuming, with people that you're allowing in your life.
Very true.
And to be able to look at that stuff and say, I'm going to change this. It's cool to be able to be very intentional about those things.
Yeah.
Because not only do you change those external stimuli, but that then changes who you are.
Yeah.
Which is so dope.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that, change is inevitable. And, I think that I want to hear from our audience positive changes that you guys are going through, that you have made in your guys' life. I want to see them in the comments.
Yes, that would be dope. Yeah. And share your story. Tell us how you got to that positive change, because we all sometimes start out in a really bad, dark place, and that is fine. As long as you recognize what it is and you start to realize that maybe I need a little bit of a revamp.
Yeah.
Like we do in this room.
Like we're trying to do in this room.
We're still waiting for suggestions, guys.
Yeah. Hit us up with those suggestions, but also, hit us up with your stories. We want, not only in the comments, but hit us up on our social media. Hit us up on Anissa B Strong. Hit us up on Choirboy Dank, and let's celebrate these changes.
Yes, let's all celebrate. Yes, for sure. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're listening or you're watching. This is Meet the Others podcast. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Where you see these faces, it's Meet the Others, guys.
Let's go.
Why Meet the Others podcast? What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
we
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives me comfort. So
I hear you.
Yeah. So anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, sure they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live.